Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the second in my Thanksgiving 2017 card series, and this design is using punches and some Stampin' Up products. I'm also going to be featuring a new product from me called Glitter Kiss, which is similar to the gilding polish product that I demonstrated in yesterday's video. The card design is very pretty, but it's very easy to make, and you can replicate it with punches, or if you didn't have punches, if you had framelits that do flowers, or cut it out by hand. It's very simple, and I think it's very pretty. I've also utilized some more dollar store purchases. I got these little buttons from the dollar store. So let me clear this away and show you how to create this card. First, the papers that I'm using. I have a card base, which is cut 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a white mat, which is unusual. Usually I use black. 5 1/4 by 4. A kraft panel, which is 5 by 3 3/4. I needed some green scrap. This is about 6 inches by about 2.5, but I'm not going to use it all. I have a strip of white, which is 8.5 by 2.5. I have some kraft scrap, and this is 4.5 by 2. I'm not going to use all of that. A white strip, which is 4 1/4 by 1, and some black scrap, which is 3.5 by 2.5, and I'm not using all of that. I'm going to be using an embossing folder called Autumn Words by Darice. I'm going to be using the Stampin Up Acorny Thank You stamp set. I'm also using the Fall Holidays by Stampabilities. I'm using multiple punches today. I have the large and the small daisy punches by, I think this is Fiskars. I have a Stampin Up Acorn Builder punch, Stampin Up Flower Medallion punch. The inks I'm going to be using today is Distress Inks, Fossilized Amber, Wilted Violet, and Peeled Paint. I'm going to be using Memento, Bamboo Leaves, and Potter's Clay. And of course I'll be using Versafine Onyx Black. I'm going to need my Spectrum Noir Sparkle Pen. And this is the Glitter Kiss product. This is by Creative Expressions, and it comes in a little pot, and I think you can see it is loaded with sparkle bits. And this container works just like the gilding polish container in my video yesterday. You push the top, and it has a blending tool already in the jar. And the product, as you see, it's just loaded with sparkle, and looks like it's going to last for a very long time. And this cost me $12.50. I bought it from Urban Scrapbookers in Edmonds, Washington, but you can get that online in several places. I have not found a place that I would recommend yet, but I know that you can get it at a company called Jet. But I'm not familiar with that company, so I can't make a recommendation about that. But you can expect to pay between $10 and $12 for it. I also got these buttons from the dollar store. It was a multi-pack which had purple and yellow, pink and blue, but I just needed these two. And as you can see, it was a lot of buttons just for $1. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of adhesing. And I have this ginormous thing, which is a scor-tape, except it's 5 inches wide. So if you're familiar with the scor-tape product, you're used to seeing it this little bit like this, and it's like a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 inch. This is that same product, it's just 5 inches. I got this at Amazon, and it is very good for putting adhesive on full sheets of paper. You would use this exactly as you would use Stick It product, so this is a lot more cost effective. This entire roll I think cost me $13. and the stick it was like $6 or $7 for 3 8.5 by 11 sheets. So I'm pretty sure that was everything. So let me clear this away and show you the materials for making the card. The first thing I'm going to do is the embossing, because I want to get, this is the piece that will be using the glitter kiss on it. I want to give it plenty of chance to dry before I start moving with it, because I don't want to get glitter everywhere. Let me apologize. I just noticed how dry my skin is. I went to old lady swim class today, and my skin is really dry, and if I were to put lotion on it, then I would take a chance of getting lotion oils all over my products here, and I don't want to do that. So I'm sorry ahead of time. So let me go and run this through my Big Shot. I want to try and make sure that I get the word, the top word here is thankful, and I like how that looks. So I'm going to make sure that I stick my paper in the upper corner so that I can get that word thankful straight. So let me run to my Big Shot machine. I'll be right back. All right. So there we have it. It looks really good. Now, set that aside for now. This is where I'm going to use the glitter kiss. So I need a piece of paper to protect my work surface. And I'm going to just lightly run this product all over the embossed panel and make the top part to be sparkly. Now if I do this with too much pressure, then the deboss area will be sparkly, and I'm trying to avoid that, but if I get it all over the place, it's not going to be too bad, because it'll just add to the look. So you just take the top and you just lightly drag it through, and this is too much. Let me get that off of there. You just have a thin layer on the applicator and just go straight across it very lightly. Oh, pretty good. Let me get a little bit more. And I'm barely touching it, and all that raised areas are picking up a little bit of the sparkle. Go that way too. All right, I like that. Make sure that you keep your pots closed so that this product does not end up getting dried out. You don't want that to happen. And I think you can see the sparkle. So hold it up. Yeah, it's pretty good. So this dries very, very quickly, but I'm going to set this aside for now and move on to the next step. So I'm going to use this black and this kraft to make this acorn here. So I'm going to show you a trick for lining the stamp up when you're dealing with punches. I've already done it, but I'll just move this off. So I'm going to take a piece of blank cardstock, doesn't matter what it is, and just punch the punch out. Okay? Now I have the negative space. Save this, you can use it for something else. And I'm going to take the stamp and put it into the negative space. There's the top, and here is the bottom of the acorn. And it'll just pop right in. And once you have it where you need it, take your block and just pick up the stamps. So now you know exactly as you stamp it will be exactly as it punches. So that's a little trick that I learned from Jennifer McGuire. So now that I have it on here, I'm going to take the potter's clay and stamp onto the scrap. All right. Now I'm going to bring in my, not the ribbon, go away ribbon, the score tape area. So I'm just going to take it and get the starting point and lay my cardstock right on it. And also the black, I want that on there too. my scissors, I'll use the gunky ones, the gunky green ones, and just cut that off. Alright, we are finished with that. Let's set that outside. So now I have adhesive on one side. Trim this up a little bit because I don't want this to get stuck in my punch and cause me a problem later, so let's just cut that off. And I guess this one, this side too. Alright, now I'm just going to take the punch and punch it out. So this acorn, the top area is blank, so I'm going to use the cap of the acorn to help me guide this punch. Alright, and it'll be a little thick because it has the sticky product on it, but it should punch with no problems. Alright, and now I want to punch the black also. Okay, obviously the black cardstock was a little bit thicker than the kraft. Alright, finish with that. Now what I'm going to do is grab my craft knife and I'm going to adhere the black top to the brown top. So I'm going to just free that backing paper. Let me bring it close so I don't cut myself. Alright. And I'm going to attach this just a little bit off center to make it look like it's a little bit of a drop shadow so it stands out a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. Okay, and now this to that. Okay. I guess you could see it. And now this to that. And this is a lot easier than it would have been grabbing bunches of tape or glue or anything like that. And again, a little bit off-centered. I'm going to leave that back in there for now. All right. Close this so I don't stab myself later. Now grab this white. And I'm going to punch out 4 of the large daisies. Okay. Now I'm going to take my mat, my white mat, this piece, and I'm going to punch 3 of the small daisies, but make sure that you stay in this area so that it doesn't show. I might not be able to get away with this because it looks a little bit close to the edge, but we'll see. Let me grab my panel and see if that can be covered. And it can. It's going to be all right. Okay, good. have to be really careful. And I need 3 of these. It's 2. Go to the other side. No, stick on this side. Okay. Now we're going to assemble the daisies, and this is really, really simple. The daisy is 2 of the whites and 2 large, 1 small. And these, I guess those would be irises, maybe? I forgot what they're called, but a mum. This is 1 of the large and 1 of the small. So just grabbing your Tombow, put it together. Now we're going to put 1 button in the center of the flowers. The smaller ones get the purple and the large daisy gets the yellow. But I want the center of the flower to have a little bit of color. So I'm bringing in some finger daubers. Sorry about that. And I'm going to color the center of the flowers. Get a little piece of paper, take my work surface. So I have 2 purple and 1 yellow. Just put it on there and just squeeze it right in the center. And then just go out a little bit. So that makes it look like a Lazy Susan. And then just hit the outer leaves just a little bit. Okay, making progress. Now we're going to get the medallion and get 1 punch from the screen. Now I have another finger dauber. Where is it? Got rid of that too soon. And I'm going to use the peel paint and go all around the edges of this. Okay, now grabbing my scissors, I'm going to cut right along the smaller of the panels and just cut it right in half. Now I'll do a little trim up and follow the shape of that leaf. Flip it over, it's easier for me. And you end up with this shape. Okay, now we need a little bit of foam tape. Get my gunky scissors for this again. Okay, from this point I'm just going to put everything together because it's very simple stamping at this point. Okay. you know, that's the finished card. And it was very, very quick. And most of it was done with punches, and it came out really nice. You could replicate this same layout with other things that you had. And even if you didn't have punches, if you had flower embellishments that you got from the dollar store or what have you, you could just put them in place in this way. And being able to look at the medallion punch and see the possibilities to make leaves is just another great thing about paper cutting. You can just try anything, experiment, and just have fun with it. I was thinking of maybe putting a little bit of ribbon on here. That's why I had this on the table, but I thought maybe it would be too much with the ribbon. I'm going to make many of these cards, so I may try it with ribbon. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, if you think that ribbon would have been better or worse. In any case, thanks for watching. I'd like to thank my brother David for the music that he provides, and I hope you're enjoying it. This, as I said, is the second in my Thanksgiving series. You can see this first card, I'll link down below, and you can get more of this and other cards that I'm making by subscribing to my channel. Please subscribe. I try to put out content pretty frequently, and I also have every Friday I'm going to give a giveaway of some of the cards that I did during the week or earlier weeks, or maybe something that I had sitting around. I may give one of these in my Freebie Friday. It depends on how many I make. In any case, take care and have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.